Okay. Anyway, so today we'll see this topic of nice theatre effect, darkness. So today we'll see this topic of what is the evidence, the highest evidence for whatever we are learning. The three ways of gaining knowledge. One is by seeing and hearing, by experience, personal experience of seeing and hearing. Another is by guesswork, maybe like this, maybe like that. So we try to explore this world mainly by these two ways, by seeing and by speculating. It's maybe like this, maybe like that. And scientific method majorly is this one, actually, it's guesswork. They try to do experimentation and try to come to the conclusion. Okay. Like for example, here there is yes. Here there is a creature, okay, and there are 6 blind men. All are blind. And somebody is catching the tusk, somebody is catching the trunk, somebody is catching the stomach portion and tail and the leg. Please come. So each one is holding the different portion of this creature and they are speculating. They are blind, okay, they don't have experience of what is this creature. Now somebody here, he is thinking this is a snake. It looks like a soft snake. And somebody is thinking, okay, where is number 2? Okay, it is a rope. It's catching the tail and is thinking it is a rope. And he is thinking it's like a fan or an axe. And he is thinking it's a wall. That's the skin of the elephant looks very hard. And then he thinks it's like an arrow. And this fellow holding this leg, he is thinking it's like a tree trunk. Now my question to all of you, is their conclusion right or wrong?
It's right because
they are blind, okay. So you said it, they are wrong, and you said they are right. So actually they are right and wrong.
we are right from their perspective.
From their perspective they are right, but from our perspective they are wrong, right. Let me just put this. So from our perspective they are wrong, but from their perspective they are correct. Because somebody who has an experience of a snake, when he is touching this trunk, he is thinking, oh, it's like a snake. Our mind has the ability to connect what we are seeing with what we have experienced past. Like suppose you taste one gulab jamun, you compare it with the gulab jamun which you ate before. And with comparison, say it's better than that or not good. Isn't it? So you buy a new mobile phone and you compare it with what you had before and what you have now. Oh, it's better than that. So mind has the ability to compare and contrast. So here also the experience, so this fellow has an experience of wall, so he's thinking, oh, it's not a good wall, it's a rough wall, it's not smooth. And is comparing actually. Actually from their perspective, they are right, but from the absolute point of view, they are wrong. Isn't it? Similarly, we are sitting in this world and we are speculating. God may be like this, maybe He is God, maybe I am God, maybe God is like this, maybe creation happened like this. We are like this 6 blind men trying to speculate about God and creation. Can we come to the right conclusion with our limited speculation? Just like these 6 blind men who do not have an experience of an elephant can't come to the conclusion that it is an elephant. Similarly, we also with our limited mental capacities cannot understand the creation and the creator. So to understand about the creation and creator, We need a person who has seen the creation and the creator, then we can get knowledge from him. Scientists, to some extent, they have seen the creation of this world. So they can explain electronics, magnetism, they can explain some atoms, molecules, chemical reactions. They give some understanding. But even they are also struggling to understand creation. Right? One of the most bewildering things for science is consciousness. One of the most bewildering things for science is to explain consciousness. Because consciousness, they think that it is many neurons are there in the mind, and each neuron is connected to millions of other neurons, and there is high current going on in all the neurons. It forms a neural network, and suddenly consciousness manifests. This is what they try to explain. But then even computers also like that only. There are so many electronic circuits, they are running together, and suddenly consciousness doesn't come there. Now here mind also, in the brain also, neurons are there, their exchange of electrons are there, transmission of data is happening, but that doesn't give rise to consciousness. Consciousness has a source separate from this neural network, that is Atma, which we have already discussed. Consciousness comes from the soul. So the science, without the understanding of soul, is unable to explain consciousness. Similarly, science also is unable to explain God. Science, there are two categories of scientists. No? Some are theistic scientists and some are atheistic scientists. Some of the theistic scientists are like Albert Einstein, Kelvin, Schrodinger, then there is Newton. These are all like theistic scientists. And there are some others categories who are like atheistic scientists. And arguments keep happening between both of them. Now here we are trying to see how can we understand the creator and the creation from the absolute point of view. Okay, let's see some arguments here. What happened? It's working. So, three ways of gaining knowledge. First is Pratyaksha Pramana, Anumana Pramana and Shabda Pramana. Pratyaksha means direct sense perception. Can Pratyaksha Pramana give us full knowledge? Is seeing believing? Now here is a railway track. They appear to be meeting at the end. Are they really meeting? No. It appears that they are meeting. But if you ask a 5-year-old boy, is the railway patri meeting there? He will say, yes, it is meeting, surely. Because he has no understanding of what is a railway track. So he cannot explain this. Now this person is standing in front of the mirror. Is he tall or short? He is neither tall nor short. He is standing here. So convex mirror and concave mirror, concave mirror, convex mirror, they appear to be the tall or short. Like in the mirror of your vehicle, it is written objects in the mirror are closer than they appear, isn't it? In the mirror they appear far bigger, it's convex mirror. Is the pencil broken? No, but it appears to be broken. It's an illusion, isn't it? Is there water on the road? No, there is no water. So, we cannot acquire complete knowledge using our material senses like eyes, like sight, touch, hear, taste and smell. Because the knowledge which we pursue, seeing is not believing. The pencil appears to be broken, but it is not broken. So, we cannot get complete knowledge from it. Why? Because we have 4 defects. There are 4 defects in our senses in the human body. First thing is imperfect senses. Our smelling capacity is limited, seeing capacity is limited, touching capacity is limited, right? And because of our imperfect senses, we become illusioned. then we commit mistakes, then there is cheating propensity. In Sanskrit it is called Brahma Pramada Vipralipsa Karanapatava. Brahma Pramada Vipralipsa Karanapatava. These are the 4 Sanskrit terms used for these things. So they are imperfect senses. Like our eyes are blind beyond this range. We can see only between violet to red, which is expanded here. But so much is hidden from us. We can't see ultraviolet rays. X-rays are right here, but we can't see. Gamma rays are there. Cosmic rays are right here, but we cannot catch them because we don't have the receptacles. Even infrared, microwave, radio wave, broadcast band, mobiles band, we can't catch. But mobile antenna can catch. So much of information in this world is only hidden from us. Even after using instruments can catch maybe few ranges, but beyond that they also are failing. They fail, isn't it? So the world which we see with our senses is very narrow, limited. Now what about hearing? We can hear only this much, 20 to 20 kilohertz. Right? Below this and beyond that we are deaf. But elephants can hear. Bats can hear. No, bats don't have eyes. How they fly? They emit ultrasound and then they hear it, the reflection. Then they navigate. So they have the capacity. So if senses have limitations, I can use instruments. I can use a microscope, I can use a telescope. But ultimately you have to read the data through eyes only. No? So no matter how much ever complicated the instruments you use, advanced instruments you use, still you have to take it. Yeah. Even if we amplified, refined instruments, the knowledge is no more perfect than our imperfect senses. So Nobel Prize winning scientist Eugene Wigner says this. So our senses are still imperfect. Our knowledge is imperfect. And because of imperfect senses, we become illusioned also. Suppose you eat sugar and you taste orange, it appears sour. But if you eat lemon and you taste orange, the orange appears sweet. You can try this out. Eat gulab jamun, then eat orange. Orange appears khadwa. Because the tongue had got conditioned to the taste of gulab jamun. And you kadwa item and then you eat little sweet orange, it becomes more sweetish. Same orange, but we are finding it different. So tongue is getting illusion. Suppose you put a warm, suppose you take 3 buckets of water, cold water, normal water, hot water. You put your hand in hot water for some time, condition it, then you put it in normal water. The normal water appears cold. Then you put the hand in cold water, put it in normal water appears hot. Same water, but perception is different because of previous conditionings. So because of imperfect senses, we get illusioned. Now I will show you some photos, you can identify. Okay, what do you see here? Huh? Eagle. Girl. Yeah, okay, there is a girl wearing a jacket and there is some scarf. Anything else you see?
If I look open, I can see an eagle.
Okay, anything else you see? Huh? Okay, so face is there, face of the girl, there is neck of the girl and she is wearing a jacket. Anything else you see? Actually, nobody is seeing what I see. Yeah? Do you say old woman? No, old woman here. Okay, this is the nose of the old woman, the lips of the old woman, the chin of the old woman, and she is, okay.
Nice.
So we don't see. We see only part of the reality, we don't see other reality, isn't it? Everybody can see old woman now? You can't see old woman. So this is the nose of the old woman. This is the eyes of the old woman. This is the lips. Chin. Can you see? Yes. Most of you saw only young woman, right? Young girl. I don't see eagle here. Maybe you can figure it out. Yeah, okay. Old. Still not able to see. Okay. So this called some people have got narrow vision. They see the details. They can't see the whole picture. Some people see the bigger picture, but they cannot see the details. So this is the difference between different people see differently. That's what I want to say. What do you see here? Triangle? Triangle? But for your information, triangle does not exist. What exists is these three. Triangle is an illusion. Right? Triangle is an illusion. What do you see here? Old man and musicians. And there's old woman, old man. How do you feel about this? Huh? Moving? Are you sure it's moving? It's an illusion of moving. There are static pixels here, but it's appearing to be moving. So this is called Maya. Somebody was asking what is Maya? Seeing that which is not. जो है वो दिखता नहीं है, जो नहीं है वो दिखता है, वो माया है. What is happening here?
Similar case in a different shape.
Yeah, they appear to be moving. Yes, they appear to be rotating. How many cases are rotating? Are they rotating? They appear to be rotating, but it's not rotating. Okay, focus on the dot here and move your head a little bit front and back. You see something? Do you see any special effect? Yeah. It appears to be rotating in opposite directions. Yeah, one more was there. Yeah, all our senses have tendency to get illusion, right? कभी कभी होता है ना, चाबी रख देते हैं सामने ही है मगर हर जगह ढूंढ रहे मिलता नहीं. Then you call your mother, से चाबी नहीं मिल रहा है. She comes, इधर ही तो है. It was there, right there, but I could not see. So this is called illusion. Then because of illusioning, we commit mistakes. Like here, brain was thought to be a cooling organ to cool the blood. But do you think it's a cooling organ? No, it's a master organ. Pituitary gland was considered to be a vestige. Vestige means useless organ. But now it is considered to be a most important organ. Value of Hubble constant has been changed 3 times. It is Hubble constant or Hubble variable. Right? To calculate cosmic distances, they use Hubble constant, but it has been modified 3 times. So it has become Hubble variable. And there is another theory of man came from monkeys. You have heard this theory? Darwin's theory. So some proofs were put forward, but most of them were proven to be false, made up. So it was revealed in 1953.
Evolutionists go so far in this subject that they can even invent very different faces for the same skull. The three entirely different reconstructions made for the fossil coals in Saturns is a famous example.
How persistent evolutionists are in producing these false masks. Another intermediate transitional form fabricated by evolutionists was the Nebraska. This was cooked up in 1922 on the basis of a single fossil tube. The evolutionists did not neglect to give it an ostentatious Latin name, Asparagopithecus paralcuta, or to make imaginary drawings related to it. It was soon revealed that the tube that had been the source of inspiration for Nebraska, in fact, belonged to a wild pig.
They took a pig's tooth and they showed it as a human.
Many other fossil skulls have been presented as great evidence for evolution, failed one by one. Neanderthal man was advanced as evidence in 1856, dismissed in 1960. Piltdown man was advanced as evidence in 1912, dismissed in 1953. Zinjanthropus was advanced as evidence in 1959, dismissed in 1960. Ramapithecus was advanced as evidence in 1964, dismissed in 1979.
So this is called cheating propensity. So with our imperfect senses, we become illusion. Because of illusion, we make mistakes, and to hide the mistake, we cheat. Right? So that's called cheating propensity. So Pratyaksha Pramana can't give us perfect knowledge because of imperfect senses. Then let's say Anumana Pramana, guesswork. Anumana means maybe like this, that's perhaps like this. And one of the best examples is Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, which he proposed. It is a very nice example of Anumana. He went on SMS Beagle ship and he went to an island, then he saw all the flora and fauna. He saw some similarities between monkeys and humans. He saw similarities between some birds. He saw similarities between reptiles and aquatics, and similarities between birds and reptiles. And he made a nice story, put everything together, made a nice story, and he wrote his book called Origin of Species by Natural Selection. And then he wrote this book, and let's see one story from there. Yeah, I am a firm believer that without speculation there is no good and original observation. After 5 years' work, I allowed myself to speculate on the subject and drew up some short notes. These I enlarged in 1844 into a sketch of the conclusions, which seemed probable to me, he says. But according to Darwin theory, initially there were only monkeys and later humans evolved. But the evidence shows that when you dig down into earth, humans and monkeys were existing up to 2 million years also. Even up to 2 million years down the earth's crust, humans and monkeys coexisted. Which means what? According to Darwin, only monkeys should be here, then semi-monkeys should be here, semi-humans should be here, and humans should be here. But up to 2 million years, humans and monkeys fossils were found together. It means to say that both coexisted. That's what Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas say, that at the time of creation, all the species were created simultaneously. So they existed. Right. Now, according to Darwin, how the whale came into existence? The polar bear, it eats with open mouth by swimming, and whatever comes it keeps swallowing. So he says, in North America the black bear was seen swimming for hours with wide open mouth, thus catching like a whale insects in water. Even in so extreme a case as this, if the supply of insects were constant, and if better adapted competitors did not already exist in the country, I can see no difficulty in a race of bears by natural selection more and more aquatic in their structure and habits, with larger and larger mouths, till a creature was produced as monstrous as a snake. Origin of Species, page number 184. So, this is a very interesting story. So, you can call it a science or something else, but nowadays many of the scientists have rejected such kind of propositions because there is no evidence for this, and there is no evidence also for man coming from monkeys till now, and most of them which were evidenced as evidence have been proven to be cheating. Now, how giraffe had a long neck? According to the theory, there was no grass below, so giraffe wanted to eat and it gave a long neck. Now, question is, how cows are still existing? How rabbits are still existing? How other deers are existing? So, this goes against the theory, isn't it? Means what? Giraffe had a long neck by design. It didn't develop a long neck. So, Darwin tried to give a mechanism of evolution by his own speculation based on material outlook. It is a fact that Vedas also talk of evolution, but not of the body, but of the spirit soul. Atma evolves from one species to another. Atma in the body of a monkey can go into the body of a human. Human soul can go into Devata's body. It can come down to animal body also based on its karma. Right? Vedas say that soul which is residing in one body moves at the time of death to another body, not that one body changes to another. No. And you can leave this room and go to another room. This room is not going to become a 5-star hotel. You can leave this and go to 5-star hotel, that's okay. But rooms are not going to change. Similarly, bodies are not going to change. But Atma can change its body. That's the Vedic version. And then some may say, what is the problem with making such a mistake? No, but small mistake can lead to a big problem. Like for example, nowadays we are inventing so many gadgets, mobile phones and all. It may appear very lucrative, but what is happening because of this? We are losing our memory, we are losing our sleep, exposure to radiation, cancer is increasing, heart problems are increasing, isn't it? So these are all the problems associated with gadgets. Sleeplessness, computer vision syndrome, depression, hearing damage, obesity, loss of relationship, like that. We can use to limited extent, but too much addiction will cause these problems. There was one company which promised that we will take one drop of blood and we will give all the tests. And they started taking this. They made some instrument which will give all the results, but many results appear to be wrong, and that lead to wrong diagnosis, and many patients had to undergo severe health complications. So that was another blunder. That Theranos Labs, that's the company. There was plague which came in Europe. So this plague, they thought that the cause of this plague is cats. So the government said, catch all the cats and kill them. But later on, they found that actually it is rats which are the problem. Plague is due to rats. Now there are no cats to catch the rats. So in 13th century, 14th century, the plague started here, went to here and covered the entire Europe. Millions of people died because of this mistake. So small mistake can lead to a big blunder. So we cannot ignore small mistakes. Right? Can you think of some examples how modern man's solution to one problem leads to another bigger problem and ultimately deprives us of happiness? One problem which led to a bigger problem. Man's solution to one problem leads to a bigger problem. Yes? Okay. Think of a problem and solution to that problem became a bigger problem.
A lie.
Yeah?
A lie.
A lie. Okay.
A lie leads to many different problems.
Okay.
It causes a bigger problem.
Okay. You had a problem, and to hide that you spoke a lie. Then to hide that you have to speak another lie and another lie. It goes on and on. Okay? Fine. Thank you. Industrial?
Industrialization.
Okay. So what is the problem? What is the solution? And what is the?
To make our lives simpler, to develop industries, and now these industries are polluting the
Earth.
economic development.
Yeah, you see Ganga and Yamuna so much polluted because of industries. So many rivers are polluted. Even earth water is getting polluted because the effluents are dumped in earth pits. Not only the sky is getting polluted, ozone is getting depleted. So solution to one problem is a bigger problem. Okay, thank you. Very nice. Any other? Mobile phone I already told. Problem was speaking to long distance. But we invented a mobile, but now that is causing problems. Okay. Cars. We wanted to avoid walking, so we invented cars. Now cars, so many cars, and so much pollution, and there are no sufficient roads to drive the cars. Especially in Bangalore, it's a big menace, no? And still people are buying cars. Lakhs of cars are sold every year. Yeah, so Pratyaksha and Anumana can't give us perfect knowledge. So is there any other way? So let's see. Did I show you this video?
Yes, sir.
Anybody not seen this video? Not seen? Okay, I think it's important. Let me show this. You can see Pratyaksha and Anumana being used here. Oh. He's afraid. So, incomplete knowledge is dangerous. So, Pratyaksha and Anumana give us incomplete knowledge of the world, of the truth. So, to get perfect knowledge, what this person should have done to get perfect knowledge? Yeah? Should have studied the manual. So, we also, if we try to experiment with our life, I will be happy this way, I will be happy that way, that's still Anumana Praman. But if we read the manual given to us, suppose that person had read the manual of how to operate that machine, he would have been in a better situation. He would have built nice muscles and good health using that machine. Similarly, we also, this body is a machine. Shariram khalu dharma sadhanam. This body is meant for perfection, attaining perfection. And this body is also yantra. This has to be maintained. Yantra or Udhanimaya, Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter says that this body is a yantra. And in the yantra, the Atma is sitting. Just like driver is sitting in the car and driving the car, similarly the Atma is sitting in the body, driving the body. So this body has to be maintained properly. How to do that? By reading the manual for this body. And what is the manual for this body? Bhagavad Gita. Right? So when you read that manual, then you can get the secret to happiness. Right? So is there any other way other than Pratyaksha or Anumana to know the complete truth that is free from all danger? So that is the manual of life. That's called Shabda Pramana, hearing from bona fide authority. It's called Shabda. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu. Krishna is telling in 4th chapter, 2nd shloka. Evam parampara praptam. This knowledge is coming down in parampara. Imam Raja Rishayo Viduhu, the kings, the saintly kings understood this. Remember I taken one session on Raja Rishi, Sattaguna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. So the combination of Sattva and Rajas is Raja Rishi. So Raja Rishayo Viduhu, this great saintly kings understood this knowledge. Sakaleneha Mahata Yogo Nashtaha Parantapa. But over a period of time what happened? The knowledge was lost. And when the knowledge was lost, Krishna is re-establishing this again. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. In every yuga, Krishna comes to re-establish dharma. So Krishna is speaking this to Arjuna and establishing dharma. So this is called Shabda. Now Krishna is the creator of the whole universe and he has given the manual, Bhagavad Gita. And when you read Bhagavad Gita, we get the knowledge of how to live in this world. So that's the importance of Bhagavad Gita. Clear? Now, one question to all of you. This child does not know who is his father. So how can you help him to find his father? DNA testing. किस किस का करेंगे? Okay. Yes. So she gave a nice, perfect answer. Of course, the indirect way of understanding, finding out is, okay, where was he born? Okay, he's from Bangalore. Which part of Bangalore? Central Bangalore. Okay, what is his color? What is his features? Okay, maybe try to find out people, men with such color and this thing, and take all their samples and try to test. And one DNA testing is so costly and you have to test so many thousands of men. So it is a very impractical process, right? We'll check your genes and tell you who your father is. Genetic fingerprint takes 800 years to identify a lot of 200 men, one of whom is likely to be your father. Search karte jao. You may find, but it is very tedious process, very time consuming. So this is called as inductive knowledge, trying to understand the truth by our own effort. So this is called inductive knowledge. Aroha Pantha it's called. Arohana, Aroha Pantha, the path of ascending knowledge. But there is another process which is called Avaroha Pantha. Avaroha means descending knowledge. Okay. So what was your answer? Ask the mother, Mummy, who is my father? Mummy correct bolti hai na, father kaun hai? So then mother says, Papa, ye tumhari papa hai, to papa. Right? Generally when the child is born, the child's connection is with mother only. And in the operation theatre, no, whatever, and the child is drinking the milk of the mother, and after some time one person is allowed with a mooch, he comes inside. Mummy bolte hai, Papa, Papa bolo, Papa, Papa, Papa. Then Papa. Right? So that's how the identity starts. Father is identified through the agency of mother. So mother is a bona fide authority. She is the bona fide authority in this case. Similarly, we want to know about God and the souls. Who is the bona fide authority? Krishna, the creator, is the bona fide authority. And Krishna has given us Vedas. Vedas are like mother, God is our supreme father. And Vedas can give us GK, God knowledge. Right? GK means not general knowledge, but God knowledge.
The Vedas, however, are not as well known for presenting historical and scientific knowledge as they are for expounding subtle sciences, such as the power of mantras. We all recognize the power of sound itself and its effects, which can be quite dramatic.
See, sound can break.
Here, a high-pitched frequency shatters the drinking glass,
the power of sound and mantras. Sound can break glass, it can break people also. Some harsh sound, like somebody hears very rock and roll music, mind can go crazy also. Yes, when rock and roll happens, people scream and shout. Why? Because their mind is going crazy. But if you hear mantras, you go to a temple and chant some mantras, mind becomes peaceful and calm. So mind has effect on the, mantra has effect on the mind. So the Vedic process of learning is like this. There is authorized college, authorized teachers in the college, and there are authorized books. So authorized college is compared to parampara or a sampradaya. Authorized professors are the gurus in that sampradaya, and authorized books are the Vedic texts like Bhagavad Gita and the Puranas. By reading those books, we can get knowledge. So we should not go to anybody and anyone to learn about God. We should know who is coming in bona fide parampara, who are bona fide professors, and what are the authorized books. Only then our knowledge will be perfect. Otherwise, there are many people writing about Bhagavad Gita. With their own name, they are publishing many Gitas, but those books will not give correct understanding. Vedas not only contain spiritual knowledge, they also contain advanced material knowledge. Like they talk about Vimanas. See this, Vimanas?
University of California at Irvine, April 2017. Aerospace engineer Travis Taylor has obtained the model of an aircraft whose design specifications are based solely on information gleaned from ancient Indian texts that are believed to have been formally set to writing.
So Vimana Shastra books. So they made this model. Flying. The Gopura is called Vimana. Temple Gopura. Vimanas. So Vimana Shastra was very advanced. Like you heard of Pushpaka Vimana, which Kuvera had. It was stolen by Ravana. It was Kuvera's Vimana, stolen by Ravana. And we also have seen in the photographs Garuda Airlines. Garuda comes and picks up people and goes on his airlines. So the Vimana Shastra is there. And even we hear about aliens coming, UFO, unidentified flying objects. So there may be devatas coming from different planets and going. So they have advanced technology. And their aeroplanes run on mercury and on gravity. They don't need rocket fuel. They fly on gravitational something, they have networks, they fly on that. And there are many predictions also, like Buddha is predicted in Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam was written 5000 years back, but there is prediction of Buddha, prediction of Chanakya, prediction of Ashoka, even prediction of Christ, Muhammad, and even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there.
The Vedas are amongst the oldest religious scriptures known to mankind and are the source of India's spiritual and cultural heritage. At first glance, the multifaceted culture of the Vedas is a foreign and fascinating mystery to the Western eye. Yet upon deeper examination, we discover a wealth of philosophical, cultural, and social values. India is renowned the world over for the practice of yoga, which increases both mental and physical strength. However, this is only a fraction of what the Vedas can offer to a progressive global community. India's culinary arts, music, natural medicine, and other sciences are only now becoming known to the West. Conceived with the world's oldest holistic design system, the Vastu Shastra predates and inspired the popular Chinese system of feng shui. the sophisticated Vedic sciences of astrology, astronomy, cosmology, and metaphysics profoundly influenced the Greeks, Babylonians, and even contemporary scientists with their unparalleled knowledge. Ancient Vedic sages presented precise calculations a millennia before Copernicus, Galileo, Newton, and Einstein.
You heard about Aryabhatta, Sushruta, Charaka. They all are given advanced medical tips long before these things. Anyway, now the last concluding point, that how gradually the faith in Vedas degraded and people started having more faith in science, and especially Indians, we stopped reading the Vedas. Right? Why? Because last 1000 years of invasions and introduction of modern education systems which sidelined the Vedas. We are such a treasure. In fact, we got sidetracked, we got distracted, but Germans, they started reading Vedas. And they started reading Yantra Vidyas, and they started making so many sophisticated cars and engines using our technology. And recently I saw one article wherein they found that Sanskrit is the best language for artificial intelligence. I read that. And NASA said that best language for computing is Sanskrita. Sanskrita Bhasha is so systematic, so sophisticated, right? And English language is not so sophisticated. For example, when you say PUT, put, BUT is not but, it is but. If PUT is put, BUT should be but not but, it is but. But in Sanskrita, what you write, that's what you pronounce, and that's what it means, indicates. Every Sanskrita word has got a root verb from which it comes. And understanding the root, you can understand the nature of that word and nature of the article it represents. But in English, it's not like that. So that's why Sanskrita is considered to be the best language for speaking as well as computing. So gradually, and also the foreigners who came, especially Indologists, the group of people called Indologists, they started telling that all these Indian books are mythology. And they put this category, Ramayana, Mahabharata, into the category of mythology, and Bhagavad Gita mythology. Mythology means what? Mithya. The word comes from Mithya. So Mithya means mythology. So they start calling it as false, and they said, why should you read them? Read other books. So that's how they were sidetracked. So Bhagavad Gita is relevant even today. Just like mathematics, science has axioms, Vedas also have axioms. Axiom means statement without any proof. Do you know imaginary numbers? Do you know about imaginary numbers? Okay. I am from science background, so I talk about imaginary numbers. So I is equal to root of -1, that's called imaginary number. It doesn't exist. But that's used in a lot of calculations for scientific calculations, and even theorems it is used. In our engineering, well, I studied electronics, so we used to use a lot of this I used to come into factor. It has Heisenberg uncertainty principle. It says that you cannot determine the position and velocity of an object. You cannot, especially the electron. Position and velocity you cannot determine. That's called uncertainty principle, but that's a theorem. Statement without any proof. Even if you might have heard about quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is some advanced science which works, but it has no proof. It works, but it has no proof. Thermodynamics says that there is something called zero entropy at 0 Kelvin, which has never been verified till now. Because 0 Kelvin is something like -200 some degrees Celsius, which nobody has seen. Right? So similarly, Vedas also have some axioms which we have to accept. Now here is 4 sampradayas. I was talking about 4 paramparas. One is Lakshmi parampara, one is Brahma parampara, Rudra parampara, and Kumara parampara. These four paramparas or sampradayas give knowledge. Shri Sampradaya Acharya Ramanujacharya, Brahma Sampradaya Acharya is Madhvacharya, Udupi. Ramanujacharya is Tirupati, Srirangam, Kanchipuram. And Rudra Sampradaya Vishnu Swami, mostly you will find in Vrindavan, Mathura, North India. And Kumara Sampradaya is Vishnu Nimbarka Swami. So Shri Brahma Rudra Sanaka Chatva Rikshiti Pavana. These four sampradayas are distributing this Vedic knowledge coming down from Krishna. And by connecting to any of them, we can get perfect knowledge. So Krishna spoke the knowledge to Brahma, and Brahma spoke it to Narada, Narada spoke it to Vyasa, it comes down. And ISKCON is also a bona fide sampradaya coming in the line of Brahma Sampradaya. Okay? Brahma Madhva Sampradaya actually. And Vedas were never written down, but 5000 years back, Vyasadeva, he wrote down the Vedas. Why? Because in Kali Yuga, memory is weak. Previously, before 5000 years, they were not referring any books. They will hear and remember. That much capacity they had. They were called as Shruti Dhara. But in Kali Yuga, modern age, we have mobiles, everything is stored there, but nothing is here. Right? In that sense, ChatGPT is a curse for students because everything is there. You can copy paste, but nothing is here. Isn't it? So, yeah. Now pay attention to this. This is the Vedic tree. Did I show this before? No. So Veda means knowledge. Veda word means knowledge. It's categorized into two, Shruti and Smriti. Shruti is that part of the Vedas which is heard. Shruti means to hear, Shravanam. That which is heard and transmitted without any change as it is. If Guru says one shloka, Shishya memorizes and speaks it as it is. No change. That's called Veda. Rig, Yajur, Athara, Sama, four Vedas. And they have Brahmanas, Samhitas, Aranyakas, Upanishads. There are Upavedas called Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, like that. And Vedangas, Kalpa, Shiksha, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chandasa, Jyotisha, these are all Shrutis, unchanging. And there are Smritis which explain the Vedas in their own words. Like you hear my class and whatever you learned, you may explain to your friend in your own words. You may not speak as it is what I spoke, but you may explain it in your own words. Similarly, whatever Vedas are telling, the Smritis, they explain with case studies, stories. Like suppose Lord protects the devotee, Prahlada Narsimha story. How Prahlada was protected by Narsimha Deva. Athato Brahma Jigyasa, that's one of the Vedanta Sutra. Inquire about the absolute truth. So then there is story of Nachiketa which is told. Then the story of Parikshit Maharaja which is told. So in this way, Vedas don't contain much in just sutras, but Smritis like Puranas, they explain lot of stories. Itihasa like Mahabharata, Ramayana, they contain lot of stories which are relevant to all of us. So it's easy to understand the Vedas through Smritis. Okay? So many things are there. Basically it's good to know, okay, Puranas and Itihasas. Itihasa means Ramayana, Mahabharata. Itihasa, that which happened. That's called Itihasa. Itihasa is not, Mahabharata, Ramayana are not stories, they are histories. History is called Itihasa. And there are Shad Darshanas, Vedanta, Mimamsa, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya. So this is the Vedic tree. So if you add all the shlokas in all of this, you know how much it comes to? This is the number of verses in the Vedas, 10 to the power of 10. So which is like 1 lakh into 1 lakh. Into 1 lakh. So many verses. एक के सामने 10 जीरो डाल दो, उतने श्लोक है. पढ़ पाएंगे हम? Can we read everything? No. So the part of Itihasa is Mahabharata, part of Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita. If you start from here, that's good enough. At least we know that one book, that is good enough. And there is Puranas, and one of the Pramukha Purana is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Gita is considered to be the essence of all the Upanishads. So Gita Upanishad. And Bhagavatam is considered to be essence of all the Puranas. If you just read these two books, that's good enough. Okay. In this one lifetime, if you can do this much, that's good enough. Okay. And what we in ISKCON teach is coming from this sampradaya called Brahma Madhya Guru Shishya Parampara, and we teach this knowledge without any addition nor deletion. So coming back to the story, so how these 6 blind men can get to true knowledge? A person with eyes, a Pandit, comes and says, "My dear friends, this is not the rope, nor the tree trunk, nor the whatever wall. It is an elephant. You are only getting partial knowledge of this." Similarly, we may have some notion of God, but when we read the Vedas, read Bhagavad Gita, then we will get a clear understanding of who is God and what is His creation. So that's the essence of this. So today we learnt, 3 ways of gaining knowledge: Pratyaksha, Anumana, Pramana. We saw that how Pratyaksha, Pramana, because of these 4 defects, we can't get perfect knowledge. Anumana, Pramana, because of speculation we make mistakes and they are disasters. Half knowledge is dangerous. And Shabda, Pramana, it's a deductive way of getting knowledge. Avaroha Pantha. So Vedas talk about God, Vedas talk about predictions and 4 sampradayas, and we saw the whole Vedic tree, and we also saw how we lost faith in Vedas, and now again it's getting reinstated by education system. So at least we should try to read, all of you should read and know the basics of Gita. Then you can share it with your friends also, your family also, later on your children will learn. So in this way the parampara continues. And if we don't learn, then next generation will also not learn, isn't it? Okay, we end here. Any questions anyone has on today's topic?
So you said there are 2 parts of truth. One is the half truth and one is the full truth. So who is the one who knows the full truth?
Yeah. Suppose you have a mobile phone. You can know a little bit about the mobile. So who knows the full truth about it? Developer. The company. Ask Samsung company, can you give the data sheet for this? They give you everything about this. Right. Similarly, about this world, who will know? The developer. One who has developed this world, created this world. He will know, isn't it? And how is he telling? Where is he telling? In the Vedas, in Bhagavad Gita, and even Puranas, he is telling. So when you read them, then you get understanding. Correct? It's a very good question. Any other question? So it's all clear? So we'll start reading Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So how many of you have Bhagavad Gita? You have? Okay. Okay. At least read 1 shloka a day. Right? 1 shloka every day. In this way you can start reading. And if you get interest, you can read more. You can read more and more. So in that way you'll get more and more understanding. At least you get started. Some things you may not understand, but keep reading.
What is the best time for reading?
Best time to read? So early morning is the best time. Right? If you have the habit of getting up early, you can get fresh, do your puja, then you can read. Because early morning if you read, if you put the spiritual thought inside, then you can throughout the day meditate on it. Another good time will be just before sleeping. Right? You have had your dinner and nothing else to do, just open Gita, read, then just close it and just contemplate on what you have read, and contemplating you go to sleep. And in the daytime, life is too busy. We don't have the focus to read. So best would be early morning or before bed. Correct? Yes. Any other questions? No? So wish you all the best. So keep reading. And I hope these sessions are benefiting you. Yeah. So madam said that we also should have some assignments.